What do you think are the downsides of missing that semantic search, and maybe some things like use a relational SQL query to fill your context?
I mean, you certainly can, right? If we're thinking of, and it is true, if I'm doing just a vector search, I could do it in a vector DB. I don't need a graph for that.
Right.
And if I'm doing something even that's just Cipher, the language of graph query, where it's just the structured portion of, say, this customer purchased this history, that's in, you could have that in a SQL database. That's very easy as well. Where graph comes to really sing is in the moment when you need to traverse from one to the other, when the metadata associated with the vector isn't enough, or where you're trying to expand into that structure based on something. So one of the instances that I talk about a lot is, in this SEC data, what we have is we have a lot of people in FinTech that actually use this type of query, where you have some sort of unstructured element that's informative about the stock or the company or some element. You are trying to look into which companies or which stocks may be impacted by X, or which mutual fund am I concerned about based on this unstructured piece. And what that would look like is you would have the unstructured vector database. It would say this is associated with these particular stocks. These stocks are owned and are part of these various mutual funds. I want to be able to understand which mutual fund might I want to invest in based on what I know about this unstructured risk piece. And so it's when you're connecting what's clearly semantic with what's clearly structured, and you really need to tie the two together, that's where the graph does really well.